Thank you, Stacy. I think that was a lot of information probably all of you needed to hear about our products. Now help me welcome someone on stage. She is our first and currently only one-star executive in UK. She is the force behind UK. Welcome, Gill Orsman. Thank you.
Woo! Okay. Wow. Hello, everybody. Thank you very much. This is a big first for me, so I'm just going to take it in. And yes, because I am on stage, I still can't quite believe that I've become the first UK Executive Director in this country. And that's very exciting for me, because I now know, and I want you all to realise, that there is huge potential in this country for growth. Okay, massive potential. But I just wanted to just speak a little bit about me, because a lot of people don't know who I am, and how I got into LifeWave as well. And then I'm going to introduce the people who come up and be with me, because I didn't get here on my own, okay? Because this is a team sport, so to speak. But I'd like to just say that when I was 8 years old, I wanted to be a photographer. And I grew up to be a photographer. And I became a very successful, international, renowned photographer. And I specialised in still life photography, and I had a studio in London. So I had a very big career here in London that spanned 30 years. And it's interesting, because I think about David, when David Schmidt, our inventor, was 8 years old, he wanted to be an inventor. And he grew up to be an inventor. So I think that's quite remarkable, something happening at 8 years old for people. So I had a studio here, and then I ended up being a specialist in flower photography. Nobody was doing flower photography in this country. I basically put that on the map. So I became known as a specialist in flower photography. And so I had some very big contracts. I did the advertising for the Chelsea Flower Show. Some really big, yeah, thank you. And I worked with advertising, design, packaging, publishing, and it was my dream. So it never felt like work, it was just me doing what I wanted to do. So that lasted for 30 years. The other golden thread that runs through my life, very early on, I realised that I was a healer. So I was into natural healing, and I studied healing as I grew up. And that was always like a parallel that ran alongside what I was doing. And one morning I woke up with a title, what came through as a download, and it was The Holistic Photographer. So I became known as the holistic photographer in this country, and there isn't one. So I didn't know what that meant, and I thought, really? You really want me to use that? So, okay. So that's kind of something that's been very dear to my heart all my life. So, so about 2 years ago, LifeWave came into my life. And before that, I'm going through different incarnations, because after 30 years, I started to come out of what I was doing and started to look into the realm of something very interesting, which I daren't go into right now, because I'll be here for 2 hours telling you about it. But I started to look into photographing energy, something you can't see. So that was my pathway that I started to go down, and it's very much about where I'm at, but I can't do that at the moment because it's kind of on the back burner. But it's very exciting for me because I'm looking at this room and I know what's in this room, and you just can't see it, but I can photograph it. So I want you just to take that in. But just know that we're not alone here. Okay? So that's something that I will be getting back to at some point. So I came through the whole career, and then 7 years ago, everything changed in my life, and I made the big decision to come look after my mum, my elderly mum, as a carer. So yeah, so that was massive. I didn't think it through. It was a hard choice. I left my world, my home, my career, to just come and look after her. Yeah, and so, so I've been doing that for the last 7 years, and that journey has completed, and she passed away last year. So me coming up on stage, it's like, Gill, you have to hold this together. So it's very emotional for me, because I know that she will be super proud of me, being on this stage. But I know she's here.
Yeah,
I know she's here. Yeah, absolutely. I just know that she's in this room with my dad. So, and it's been a privilege for me to be on that journey. And I fulfilled everything I wanted to do for her. Sadly, the patches came in almost too late for that journey, but that's okay. I mean, she was 2 months short of 95. I mean, come on, you know. So it's, you know, she has a very long life, and yeah. So that's just something that I have to get over, because, come on, you know, 95. I mean, I think that's okay. Although she probably said, you know, I think she would still be here now if she was on patches. So 2 years ago, LifeWave crossed my path. And I was approached by somebody, a friend of mine, that was part of a business that we were doing. And she's now my sponsor. Her name's Julie Tara. Who's heard of Julie Tara? Yeah, quite a few people. We would really love to have her over here, but she's in Colorado. She lives over in the States. Anyway, she rang me up one day, very excited. Said, Gill, I've got something amazing I want you to look at. It's like, okay, yeah. So just like what we do, we get in touch with people and say, listen, I really want you to get your eyes on this. And I said, okay, send it over. So she started to tell me about it, and I thought, what? A patch that like wakes up your stem cells? I've never heard of that. And I said, okay, I'll, you know, have a look at the video. And so I just knew in my heart, I thought, wow, there is nothing like this on the planet right now. Really nothing like this. This is something really important. So I had a look at the business side of it, and she's basically said, I know who I'm going to work with. I found this amazing woman I'm going to work with. I said, oh, what's she like? Her name's Dr. Stacey. I said, okay. What's she like? Oh, I don't know. I have not met her yet. I've not even had a conversation with her. I said, what? She has no idea that you are about to knock on her door? So anyway, that happened, and they had the most amazing conversation, and you know, it's a wonderful story. Stacey might tell you about it one day. Very emotional. And she came on board in October 2023, and I literally came on board 5 days later. And I looked at the whole package of the business, and I knew the obvious choice for me would be to go for the business pack, but I didn't have the money for it. So, but I knew in my heart, I went to bed, I said, look, I'm going to come on board, but I'm going to have to go for a smaller pack. So, overnight, a miracle happened for me. I woke up to a massive refund from my mortgage company. Actually, the next morning, and while Julie was in bed asleep, I signed up with the top package. So she knew nothing about that until she woke up in the morning to my message, and I just went, Merry Christmas. And she didn't really know what happened. And then when she woke up, I basically told her, I said, welcome to your first diamond in the UK. She just blew a fuse. She couldn't believe it. And I knew instantly there's some people that I wanted to share with this, because it was just obvious. Because we were working with a natural healing product in another company we were doing. And I thought there's some people here that will get this. And I'm very pleased to say that that's what they said yes to me. And some of them are in the room today. But going back to when Julie first approached me and told me what it was, the two words that I heard were phototherapy. Phototherapy. So a photographer that does holistic healing, that was it. So that was the first thing that I got. And my patches arrived, so I was very interested in trying it for myself. And everything that Stacey's just told you just now is absolutely true. I had some issues with some health problems at the time, and I was very excited when I got my diamond pack came through and all my patches were there. I was like, wow, I don't know what this is, but it's really, really exciting. So I started on the patches, and literally in the first week, I felt some shift and a change with my energy, and I thought, okay, this is going to be quite an amazing journey. And then I added in some other patches that Stacey's mentioned here, and I started on my journey. But I knew, so some people you'll hear will be saying, well, I'm not really going to share this with anybody until I've got a result myself. I didn't do that. I actually decided that I was going to talk to some people right up front, and I'm very pleased that I did. So when I got to share this information with a few people, we did some Zooms, and several of them came on board, which was fantastic. So what I'd like to do is, in a minute, I'm going to share, I would like to share a story now, because this is, obviously I've been doing this 2 years, and I've been sharing the patches with people, but I wanted to highlight this particular story because it is the most remarkable thing to date for me. I worked with this lovely woman back in the 80s. She was a big designer in London, and she worked with the music industry. And I lost touch with her. I probably saw her about 10 years ago, and I lost touch with her. And I knew she was dealing with a problem, and I couldn't find her. So basically, this was December 2024, and I had to really search to find her, and I managed to find 2 people that knew where she was, and she was gone. She was a ghost. So when she knew I was looking for her, she got in touch with me in December 2024. And I said, listen, I found something quite amazing. I really would like you to take a look at it. She did kinesiology, so she was kind of within that framework of knowing what energy's all about. But when she told me her story, I was devastated. I mean, she'd been through a terrible illness, and she got an infection. She was in hospital, an infection in her left foot, I think it was. And right foot, thank you. I'm dyslexic, by the way. And they amputated her leg. So it was just blew my mind when she told me what she'd been through. The fact she'd been in a wheelchair for 5 years, and she'd lost everything. She'd lost her life force and everything. So anyway, I sent her the patches, and she went on the X39. And I wanted to play a video today, but we can't because there's certain aspects of it that we're not really allowed to show, but I wished I could show it because it is the most amazing, powerful video, and every one of you would have been in tears after that video. But here she is, and so this is just a little snapshot of her story. And then after being on the patches for 9 weeks, she was able, she then had a prosthetic limb, and she'd never been out of the wheelchair. And after 9 weeks, she's now down the gym doing physio sessions. And they could not believe it. They thought, well, this is we don't understand what's happening, because they'd pretty much written her off. And she continues to get stronger and heal. So she's basically got her life back. And that is the reason why I'm doing this business. And I see myself as a messenger of light to help as many people as possible. Because as a one-to-one healer, you can only heal one person at a time. And that's what I really got from doing this business, that I can reach so many more people through so many more people. And basically that's what we need now here on planet Earth. So her name's India, and she got her sense of humour back, so she's created the adventures of Eileen Sideways. Okay? Eileen Sideways. Do you get it? So that is what she's it's just time to drop her. Yeah. So that's what I love, because that's her sense of humour coming back after a real shit show that's been gone down for that woman. So how long we got?
1 minute.
Oh, you're kidding me.
No, that you could
Okay, right. Well, I'd like to, because I've not done this on my own, I really wanted to invite some of my beautiful people to come up. So would I like to invite Ursula to come up to the stage? And I'd like to invite Deborah to come up to the stage. And Sonny, would you like to come up to the stage? Is Anita in the house? Is Anita in the house? So, come up here, my darling. This is Ursula Dowd, everybody. And Ursula is actually the first person I spoke to after...
2 days after Gill,
Thank you.
2 days after Gill signed up, I signed up. So we've been on this little journey together, and it's absolutely incredible. It's the most rewarding thing you can ever do in your life.
Yeah, and so I'd like to hear from Ursula, because obviously on her journey, she started to reach out to people, and you've got quite an amazing story you'd like to share, which completely changed everything for you, didn't it?
100%. So for me, I just took it, I didn't even try the patches. I just went for the premium pack, dived in, see what happens. Yeah, you can laugh. But day one, focus, clarity, more energy. Better? 100%. So that was like, whoa, what's going on here? It was like incredible. So then, me being me, whilst I heard all these testimonies around the world, literally, different things, I like to find people that I know, because it makes more for the heart, for sure, it resonates. Now, I've got a good friend who's had rheumatoid arthritis, 15 years, 52 years old, back, shoulders, hands, the whole bit. And I rang her up and said, I've got these little patches I'd like you to try. And she went, you're having a laugh. She said, and if you're in the UK, I take cocodamol every 4 hours, and I'm on morphine injections every 2 weeks. I said, I'm gifting them to you, all right? Try. So she went, okay. The following day after she received them, she called me. And I said, I've been waiting all day to see what was going to happen. And she went, I'm gobsmacked. Gobsmacked? What does that mean? She went, I can hardly move. She said, my husband got me onto the bed, and he said, my main pain threshold was my lower back. Put the patches on. She said, I jumped off the bed 10 minutes later. My pain went from 10 to 0. It was the most life-changing phone call you could ever wish to have. It blew me away, and that was the start of my journey, trying to connect with other people that you know need help. I had an autoimmune when I was 21, and I traveled the world because it was an autoimmune. I couldn't move. It was like arthritis in my whole body. You'll never have a job on your feet. I go looking for those people because we have a solution now. That lady, 9 months on, a year on, sorry, is now on Eon 1 every 3 or 4 days. Sorry, it still gets me. No cocodamol and no morphine injections. When someone turns around to you and says, you've changed my life. Go for it. Spread the word. Thank you.
Thank you, Elsa. Thank you. So I'd like to introduce Deborah Mendez. And Deborah was the second person that I introduced to the business and the patches. And Deborah, if you'd just like to share a testimonial for everybody, just a few minutes, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, so again, I think I was third, so I joined in November, she joined in October. She put a little message in my Facebook Messenger, we hadn't spoken for a couple of years, and said, Julie and I are setting up in the UK, and would you like to join us? I looked on the startexcitednow.com website, it said light, I didn't know what stem cells was, there was nothing, I just looked at light and sun, and I went, I'm a sun worshipper. I'm a trained forest bathing guide, so we have this nature all of connection, and I wanted to work with Gill and Jules, and I trusted them basically, and I was looking for something. I was looking for community and a business, an arm to my business. So I basically said yes immediately, and I got on a call with Gill and Jules, and we were talking about all the different packs. I decided to go for the second highest, which was up to my credit limit. And just as I pulled my credit card out, I said to Gill, why am I doing this? Because I hadn't got any really pressing health issues. She said, because you want to help people. I just put my hand to my heart, closed my eyes, and I felt the people under me that I was going to help, and I knew that they would be the wings under my sail. So I had a sort of well-being, purpose-driven drive to hand my credit card over at that point. So I was excited. I did get results straight away. So I did have sort of brain fog issue where my brain was sometimes, when I had a cold, I had this fatigue. And I noticed very quickly that my brain started to process quicker. And I had less brain fog, so I had more energy. I was able to be less overwhelmed when tasks would come in. So I was able to be more productive. I organised a big event of 1,200 people for Barbara O'Neill, and was just at my desk for two weeks for 12 hours. And I don't know how I did that. And then in terms of the intuition that comes through, my nephew and niece, my young nephew, he said, oh, you're calm, but you're more calm after 1 year. My niece said, you're more joyful. You're joyful, but you're more joyful after 1 year at Christmas. And they don't like it. I went and got myself weighed by a specialist, and she said my metabolism was 17 years younger, which was more than any of her nutrition clients from another company. And so she was really impressed. I had my blood pressure taken by a nurse. She said, oh, it's absolutely brilliant here. You've got the blood pressure of a teenager. I got, very early on, I had a little fatty spot under my eye that disappeared. That was nice. But as I went on to this journey, I realised actually, I don't want to be like my parents. And so I'm going to be 60 this year. My mum died when she was 62 of breast cancer. And I can honestly, this is probably the biggest personal result for me, I can honestly say that the constitution of my whole body has changed in terms of its vitality, and I feel that's a preventative measure that the patches have supported me with. My dad's got dementia, and that's not going to be me, and I'm going to be patching for the rest of my life for that, and also to reverse aging. So it just makes me, the most gratifying thing isn't just about my results and where I'm going to take this, but my biggest, it is so gratifying, all the people that I've helped, but my one person, I suppose, is one of my brand partner's husbands, who was had asthma, and he was on an inhaler for 50 years, and within a few months he was completely off the inhaler, and my friend basically said, his wife, I've got my husband back, and I now know that I can grow old with him. And that's, when you think about things like that, you just think, oh yeah, and it makes you want to carry on. Yeah.
Thank you. Deborah because it's a well-rounded experience there. And I'd just like to introduce Sunny, who's our newest member in our family. Sunny, so she's come in somebody under Deborah, and we met in September, didn't we? September here, and so much has happened for this girl in a very, very short space of time. So it is like getting in a rocket and taking off, just a warning for everybody. So Sunny came on board as a brand partner, and since then you've actually been to America with us. I mean, that happened very, very quickly, didn't it, after that? And Sunny's now starting to build a team in the UK. So would you like to just share some experience that you've had in a short space of time, Sunny?
Yeah, so I came across LifeWave in August last year with Fiona Clark, who's under Deborah, and it was a crazy time for me because literally a week after I found out about the company, I had a massive breakup with my partner, and it was like a massive shock. My whole life changed, and Fiona just said to me, "You need to get on the patches straight away. It's going to help you so much." But yeah, so for me, it did. I was in such a bad state, so definitely the Aeon helped me so much with my stress and my anxiety and like having hope. So that was my beginning point. And then yeah, with the business side, I just said yes to everything. At that point I was like, I'm saying yes to everything that comes my way now. So yeah, I came to the London conference in September, the month after, a few weeks after. And then they mentioned Anaheim and I was like, why not? So that was in October, and then in October I was like, I'm going to go back to my life and how am I going to manage? And I was still in that mindset a little bit, so I was still saying yes to things. I think Gill organised an event for us to So I had 2 events lined up for November that I said yes to, and it was incredible just sharing this technology with people. Similar background to Gill, I'm in healing, so I just love light and energy and sound and everything. So I knew the power of what it does. And then yes, I went to Anaheim, came back and did the 2 events and reached out to as many people as I could. And being in person and talking to people, I prefer that so much more than Zooms or reaching out. So yeah, definitely meet people in person, invite them for a coffee, organise an event, and it's so rewarding once you get people started and just letting them know about what is out there. And yeah, so I did those 2 events, and now obviously I'm here again, and I'm so looking forward to this journey. So at the moment now, so I have 5 people in my team. I'm a 2-star manager. Thank you. And
You've got some guests here today?
yeah, I have.
What would you like to say to your guests?
Sign up. Hurry up. Yes, say yes, say yes. That's my main thing for everyone. Just say yes to everything that comes your way, and you don't know where it leads. And this experience for me has been incredible, and the team are so supportive, and I'm so grateful for everyone.
Well, I think that's time. Yeah, thank you very much. Well, I would just like to thank everybody that's here on this journey with me, because again, we can't do this on our own, and we have huge potential in this country. And I'd love to say to all the guests, I hope you leave this room today thinking, I don't know what that was, but I want to be part of it. I don't know what you're selling, but I'm buying it. Okay, so I hope you have a great day, and thank you for being kind for me for my first stage appearance. And I appreciate it.